Hey everyone, welcome back. Guess what? It's the return of raw uploads. Now, today, I wanted to do something a little bit special. You've probably seen a lot of my room nuking or crazy glade builds with melee influence and whatnot lately, but I wanted to bring an old one back. I wanted to make Zenistar good again, and let me tell you, with the melee arcanes we have in this update, yes, you definitely can. There's a couple of pieces in the puzzle coming into today's setup. It can definitely get about, I think it's about 115, 120 kpm. But for Zenistar to be able to pull that off as a DPS tool on Steel Pant these days, that's good enough for me. I'm pretty impressed with that, as that keeps up with life support perfectly fine. And more importantly, what I'm about to show you today, this can be done on any frame. It does not need to be on Loki. I chose Loki just because I wanted something that doesn't really help. The important thing is don't die. So I guess Loki lets me stay invisible, but no stealth multipliers will not apply during today's showcase. Because, well, you'll see very quickly once we get in. But what is important is you do need 2 Emerald Archon Shards unless you like spam casting an armor strip ability. The whole setup would change a little bit. But I tried to make this as comfortable as possible so we have a lasting way to strip today. And that's coming from Tempest Barrage, since this lets us each reach 14 corrosive stacks to take out all armor from enemy instantly, without having to spam cast, say, like Terrifier Pillage ourselves. The other important part about this is, I'm going to take a look at Loki himself just so I can point things out today, is Viral Tempest, so we can prime Viral too, because I don't have a good way to prime Viral otherwise. The arcane slots are quite flex. I don't think I really need Energize on this. You could possibly use Arcane Fury if you want more damage on your Zenistar disc. Multificiency is just for more duration to stay invisible, blah blah blah, and make Tempest Barrage longer. No matter what frame you pick today, you will be using high duration to make this armor strip area last as long as possible, make it more quality of life. Besides everything else here, the only thing that matters is radar is nice to have, but you need melee guidance. Melee guidance is going to be used for me to show you a way to be permanently at 12 times combo today. No matter how many times I swing my melee, I won't even lose combo. It won't even reset to 0 and build back up. I just sit forever at 220 combo. And this is another part of the quality of life on the build. So let's get into that Zenistar thing that I'm looking at. You'll notice I'm not using Influence this time. It is Vortex, and this is so that we can pull enemies back into the ring to get them killed off by our Zenistar, as well as armor stripped by a Tempest Barrage that's going to be casted on top of where our discs are. You'll notice that this is modded for Gas Electric. This is for quadratic scaling damage because Vortex is going to pull things together, which allows enemies nearby to hit each other with electric and gas procs. This build is kind of non-negotiable. There isn't really that much you can do with it beyond what I showed. So if you want the build to work as is today, how I demonstrate, you're pretty much going to have to copy this. Prime Reach extends the AoE out to 8 meters. Attack speed allows it to hit more often. Technically, you could use Berserker Fury here. I just find it makes it clunky to mess around with otherwise. Killing Blow does affect the disc and speeds up the wind-up before you throw it. Now, technically, I'm missing critical damage on this build. If you're willing to give it up, then my recommendation is drop Prime Fury for Organ Shatter. I'm going to showcase without this, and I guess we'll find out how it works. And I'm going to have to replace Loki for Arcane Strike to compensate. Otherwise, it gets very, very annoying if you accidentally swing this weapon. And no, that doesn't affect the wind-up as much, but it's, trust me, if you accidentally hit melee when you don't want to, it's going to suck without attack speed. This scales up all of our status procs. This is here because there's a feature where you need heavy attack efficiency to prevent my combo dropping to 0 and building back up to 220. So this is a very important part on why I never ever lose any combo whatsoever when I set up. Your pistol, Zenistar does not kill Acolytes well. Bring whatever you want to kill Acolytes. I don't care what you use. This is just what I'm using. It's not optimized as an Acolyte killing tool, so do whatever you want. Tenet Ferrox. This is, if you have a way to put a lasting AoE down in your rifle slot, then so be it. But I chose my Ferrox since this is going to place Magnetic, which activates the condition for Magnetic Vortex to pull enemies in when my Zenistar kills them. So another important part to note here is I'm using Merciless and I'm using Deadhead. And my Loki is using melee guidance, which makes me lose initial combo duration. And my Zenistar does not have combo duration built. My combo duration is -1, which means I can't build combo by swinging this. However, there is still a way to build combo, and that is by bringing a companion. Now, this is a Vulpaphyla, which I'll get into why in a second also. Tenet Bond allows your pet to build combo even if you don't have combo duration, which is probably already known at this point. It's been covered a few times in the past. More importantly, Panzer spreads spores, and I have swipe so my Panzer hits a bunch of enemies. Hitting enemies builds combo, of course, for my Zenistar because of Tandem Bond, but hitting spores also counts as hits for your melee, so my Panzer will build combo a lot faster than any other pets. It's super duper fast because of how the spore melee mechanics work. And because of the heavy efficiency feature that I mentioned earlier, not only will my Vulpaphyla let me hit 12 times combo super quickly, but I also won't lose any combo whenever I swing my Zenistar. Technically, this means I can spam 12 times heavy attacks to take out the Acolyte, but it's a lot easier to just shoot your pistol at them. So yeah, that's the main setup for today. Viral Quills is not consistent here because enemies die a little bit too quickly. But yeah, let's go in and demonstrate how this build works. We have our Tenet Ferrox to proc Magnetic for Vortex to pull enemies into our Zenistar. Our Zenistar kills with Quadratic Scaling Gas and Electric. Our Loki gives us negative combo duration, as well as Tempest Barrage for Armor Strip and free viral procs, whereas our companion builds all our combo for us with the Spore mechanic to speed it up even more because I can't do it myself when melee guidance is active with negative combo duration. So I'm going to hop into Void here. Hopefully I get the right tile first, otherwise I'm going to have to find some kind of campy-ish tile. But if I do get the right one right out the gate, then that would be very, very nice. We did not get it. Okay. So I'm going to have to fish for some type of dead-end camping zone. But yeah, so we're only going to run for about 5 minutes since it's all about the same. It's full stripped enemies, so it really doesn't change anything. So with this, I can honestly probably... Here, get my pet to hit them. You'll notice I can't build any combo, but when my pet hits them, it is building very, very quickly. We're already at 204 combo now, and now we are max. So what I can do is take my Zenistar, throw it right here like this. Notice how I still have all of my combo. And I'm going to drop my Ferrox on top of this and place 5 Tempest Barrages to strip quickly. And I do have Meg's Anomaly, I think, on the build to pull enemies in a bit better if they end up in an awkward spot at first, to guarantee that they're dying within this aura. After that, you literally just sit and you wait. And that's it. That's our Zenistar build. This is all we do. Now, because enemies stop moving based off of when they're close to you, a dead end area is better than what I'm showcasing right now. So what you would want to do, otherwise you're stuck dragging them in like this. Notice how easily they die. But it would be better for me to try and find a spot like here. I could put it right here like that. Throw that there. Throw this here. And then just back off. And they're going to try to make it closer to me because I'm far away from them. Since, remember, enemies do not stop walking into death zones. They stop walking to you when you stop moving. So by putting myself in this corner, I am forcing them to walk through my Zenistar field. And the final result is they basically just kill themselves. And that's our Zenistar. 151 kills, we're creeping up to 2 minutes, but remember the amount of time I spent talking about the setup and whatnot. It's okay, we'll catch back up with our life support very quickly. And you'll notice Eximus units don't die particularly fast this way. That's why I also brought another weapon that could be killed with Acolytes, but you can also use it to kill Eximus units if they walk past it towards you, since they are aware. They are aware I will be camping in the corner when I do that. It's just they will not be able to shoot me since, well, they're not allowed to shoot what they can't see. But I'm just going to build up this here. And now I can transform it. I put it in Incarnon mode. I place this again. Notice how my life support is at max, and then I just sit in this corner. So when the Acolyte shows up, I'll show you. I just shoot it, and it dies. This is a crit Laetum. If you do want the video for, the build for this, I will show it at the end. I use this because the 2000% damage perk does not work against Acolytes. Actually, no, I did show this earlier, so I'm not going to have to show it at the end. But yeah, so do keep in mind you will not get this type of performance against Acolytes with the Laetum unless you are using the crit build. And I'm actually going to have in the pinned comment as well as a card around the top right just about now on why I use crit Laetum as well as how to build for it and its advantages. You don't have to use one, but if you're curious on why I have it built this way, that will answer all of your questions. Otherwise, oh, there's the Acolyte. But yeah, so this is all we need to do. And weaker Exodus units will also die the same way. We got Violence. Wonderful. Wonderful. See, this is why I have this. Go away. And when I run out of timer on my Zenistar, I just throw it again. And I still get the 120 seconds because I never lose actual combo. So as you can see, the build is very, very chill. Also, if this does get fixed, we already have focus energy on the build. Just run Reflex Coil. And then there you could probably drop a slot for that, and your combo will reset from a pretty high amount. Otherwise, I mean, focus energy really isn't that bad, since 40% plus swinging a little bit is not too hard with the access to looping tools on Vortex here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And see, when things get in your face like this, that's just kill them with the Laetum. Now, as I said, you don't have to use Loki. You can use other frames, but if you're not invisible, of course, build for health and adaptation tanking, and then you will be golden. Otherwise, we are above 500 kills despite violence spawning and screwing up our rotation and me discussing stuff at the start. So, yeah, this is what I would recommend. If you want to use Zenistar on any frame in the entire game, and you want it to come back and do its work on Steel Path now, all you need is to pick up that melee Vortex Arcane and have a way to prime Magnetic consistently. You can either keep shooting your gun, or you could pick a more chill setup like where I chose to bring Ferrox to proc Magnetic for me so I can just, well, watch enemies walk into their deaths. Otherwise, if it wasn't Violence, well, everything that I placed that was active would remain active, and I still would have been able to armor strip and apply viral. I wouldn't have been as pressed to kill it immediately since I wouldn't be pulled out of Invis. Or if I was on other frames, I'd still have adaptation and armor scaling. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed that, and may all of the Zenistar players, enjoyers, enthusiasts return once more to the game. Now, I'm stuck on this mission survival screen. Ah, there we are. A like and subscribe always goes a long way to help the channel, and I guess this is where I should say my spiel that 79.5% of you are not subscribed. I'm trying my best to give you new information as soon as possible, like I've been doing with the Whispers in the Wall update. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds on a nearly daily basis. But that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.